We've got a buck in the garden. Let's go take a look. Okay, so yes, it is Big Poppy, my decoy, and yes, that was ridiculous. However, things in the whitetail woods are about to get a little bit ridiculous themselves. We are exactly 1 week away from Halloween, and that means the seek and chase phase of the pre-rut is here, and it also means it's decoy time.
Oh Satan, please leave me alone. I'm going to see Jesus in my heavenly home. I'm walking this highway, dark though it may be, far in the distance, I see eternity. Oh Satan, please leave me alone. I'm going to see Jesus in my heavenly home. Oh Satan, please leave me alone. I'm going to see Jesus in my heavenly home.
If you've ever hunted over a deer decoy, hopefully you know how fun and effective it can be. If you haven't, I highly suggest that you give it a shot. Not only is it a super effective way to get that buck you're after into archery range, but it's also just a boatload of fun and a great way to learn about deer behavior in the wild. No, it's not 100% foolproof. I've had some incredible hunts and experiences over decoys, but it doesn't always work. I mean, it's a fake deer. It doesn't move and act and behave like a real deer does in the wild. As I mentioned, it's not 100% foolproof. There are some tips and tricks to get more effective use out of your decoy. And the first of which is giving him a nice bath. Got to get all that stink off from 11 months in the shed, in the garage. Because after all, we don't want him stinking and smelling like foul odors that he may have picked up. Rub-a-dub-dub, fake buck in the tub. Wash your backside here, big fella. Get behind the ears, get the antlers, get his undercarriage here a little bit. Right down between the toes, armpits. Yeah. Sorry if that tickles a little bit, big guy. My bad. Wash that mug off. And a little dirt there from prior use. There, don't you feel better? Don't you feel better, big guy? I know I sure do. Sometimes you got to talk to your fake decoy. Talk him into what he's about to do, step on the field of play, and possibly get beat up by a big buck. Sweet. Now we've got Big Poppy all washed down with scent killing soap. From this point forward, whether I'm putting him up in the field or taking him down to bring him back home, he will only ever get the glove treatment. He will only ever be handled by a gloved hand. Keep my human scent and human odor off of him. At the same time, when I set him up in the field, he's gonna get a nice spray down by some scent killing spray, and I'll also add a little bit extra for some more effectiveness. And what I really prefer to do is add a tarsal gland from a buddy's buck that has been shot. If a friend or someone I know has shot a buck, I'll go ahead and cut that tarsal gland off, put it behind the decoy, and it can make for some incredible times in the deer woods. Now let's talk about setup a little bit. I usually like to set them either broadside or quartering to. I never like to face them directly at me. It just gives an approaching buck another excuse to look in my direction. And then of course you got to play the wind. Yes, the ideal wind is blowing from the decoy to me, but it doesn't always work out that way, and giving an approaching buck a slight advantage with a quartering wind isn't all that bad of a deal. Sometimes it can actually convince them that everything's cool and they're going to approach. A little bit of wind also helps, and I like to set Big Poppy up at a slight angle so his head will turn in the wind, giving him a little bit of movement so he looks a little bit more natural. I also prefer not to set them in timber. Now, if it's open timber, that might be a slightly different situation, but by and large, I'm going to use my decoy in an open field where an approaching buck can see him from at least 50 yards. Now, I've had situations where I've had bucks pop out at 10, 15 yards away, see him, and they don't mind him, but I've also had it happen where a buck pops around a corner and freaks out for whatever reason. Big Poppy's standing right there looking at him, and they don't like it. So my preferred method or placement is going to be in an open field 20 to 25 yards away from my tree stand and in an area where an approaching buck can see him from 50 to 100 yards. And that is a wrap for this video pretty much. The next time we see Big Poppy, he'll be on the deck in the field of play looking to fight a mature buck, hopefully, and hopefully one that gives us a shot. But before we officially end the video, we're going to share a hunt from 2012. It's one of the most incredible hunts over a decoy that I've ever had, and it was after a buck I called Nutzenheimer, a buck that I had first gotten pictures of in April, tracked him a little bit throughout the summer before he disappeared, of course, right before hunting season, and lo and behold, Halloween morning, I spot him in the field with a doe. So here's a hunt from 2012 over a decoy off the ground for a big old buck we called Nutzenheimer. That right there, gang, is the one I am after. I cannot believe it. It's the first time I've seen him during daylight hours. Came to park and do some scouting. He's out there with the doe, tending the doe already. October the 31st, Halloween. Still got some strong winds from Hurricane Sandy blowing through. Got some rain working through. But he's out there. Now it's time to put a plan together. I can't believe it. He's 200 yards off the road, but he's going to be where the does are. The wheels are definitely turning this morning. Got to figure out how to get on this deer. It's probably going to be I was going to head into work. I'm probably going to have to get into a tree or maybe even try to put a stalk on this deer. He's beautiful. He is absolutely gorgeous. Probably 100 and close to pushing 160 class here in Henry County, Ohio. Doesn't happen very often. Been watching him all summer. Now it's time to put the plan together. Whew, he's beautiful. What a gorgeous animal. I am shaking already. Man, I just can't see him in there. Here's a gig. Spotted Nutzenheimer this morning with a doe. He's a deer I've been after since April. He was on this little finger with a doe. Watched him for probably an hour this morning. And they went into that finger and haven't moved. So, ran home, called Ted, said, let's go. We're going to try to put a stalk on him. Wind's right. Going to loop around, come up from the south. Got a strong wind, northwest wind blowing. Going to help cover our movement. Going to try to sneak the decoy out. I think we can get within 80 to 100 yards. Do some rattle sequence, see if we can call him up out of there, because he's a big deer. But that's the plan. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're here. Well, let the games begin. Got a little walk ahead of us. Let's get to it. Alright, well, here's the situation. It is Halloween, October the 31st. And this morning, I was going to hunt. We were expecting rain. It wasn't raining. So I went out, did a little scouting, found the one that I'm after. Watched him bed with a doe, know where he's at. I don't have a tree stand within about 400 yards, so wind is right. It's blowing pretty good, still kind of wet. Gonna try to put a stalk on. It should be interesting, that is for sure. Let's hit it.
outdoors here. Spotted Nutzenheimer this morning. He bedded with a doe at the end of his finger. We took the long way around, set up the decoy, used the wind to our advantage, the terrain to our advantage. Gonna rattle. See if we can get him to pop out. He's with the doe. Hard telling, never know where she's gonna lead him, but we're gonna give it our best.
You ready?
Ready? Ready? Meh. Come on, buddy. Go down right there. Yes! Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, Jesus! 60 yards! 60 yards! In the wind! Railed him out! Spotted him this morning! And we just laid him down! Oh my word! Oh my God! Thank you, Lord! Thank you, Lord! Halloween, October 31st, the one I've been on since April 17th. Spotted him this morning with the doe. Third rattle sequence. Out he pops, looking at the decoy. He was a little further than I wanted. And this 60 yards, settled the pin, played the wind a little bit, and I think I heart shot him. Are you freaking kidding me? Ted, are you freaking kidding me? Is this real? Is this real?
Very late, dude.
Dude, is this real?
This is real. I told you we were gonna do it.
Oh.
Congratulations, dude. Let's go get our hands on him.
Dude, we killed him. Oh my gosh.
But I gotta see.
60 yards. 60 yards. And as soon as he started taking off, I was like, just the way he was acting, I was like, I nailed him. I nailed him and I saw him circle. It worked. He was laying right in there.
Yep.
I spotted him from over there this morning. October 31st, Halloween. It was trick or treat, and for me, it was treat, baby. I've been watching this deer, call him Nutzenheimer, since middle of April.
Been waiting to put my hands on him, scouting day in, day out, trail cameras, hanging 20 tree stands, food plots, you name it. Didn't shoot him out of a tree. Wasn't quite the way I planned it, but it's not up to us how that happens. Oh, I have been waiting and scouting since April for this deer. What a Northwest Ohio mega giant. I don't know what he's going to tape out at. I'm guessing 160 class, close to it. All the work, the preparation, the scouting. My wife was getting sick of hearing about Nutzenheimer. It happened. I spotted him this morning. Was gonna hunt. Wind's been nasty for 3 days from Hurricane Sandy. I thought one more morning of scouting, maybe I'll slip out tonight, and I spot him with a doe. Watched him walk into this finger, put a plan together, called Ted, said, hey, let's try it. What we got to lose at this point? Nutzenheimer. I gotta tell you, the name Nutzenheimer, like I said, I started getting pictures of this deer April 17th, 5-inch bases, and from then I knew he was gonna be something special. And my grandma inadvertently named this deer. Whenever she gets frustrated about something, you'll hear, Nutzenheimer. And it's just a made-up word that she made up. And when I saw him, boom, I knew instantly his name was Nutzenheimer. Plans went into motion, and scouting day in, day out. He has got so much character, mass, huge G3s, long G2s, great brow tines, split brow tine, a kicker over here. He had a drop tine he broke off. He's got little kickers up front. What a magnificent animal. All praise and glory to God. Wouldn't be possible without him, that is for sure. We wrapped up a chapter that has been 6 months in the making. Put the puzzle pieces together. Awesome. Thank you, Jesus. And that is officially a wrap on the decoying deer video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you have questions on the intricate details of how to hunt over a deer decoy, please leave us a comment or a message in the section below, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. But that's a wrap, and until next time, go live the Will Hunt life. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in once again.